The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we welcome you to our show. Yes, we, meaning myself, and with me today is Jeff Akers. We welcome you to our show. We're both certified financial planner practitioners from Akers Financial Group. And this show, Winning in Retirement, is about ways to help you win in your retirement years. If that's in a couple years, or if it's right now, or if it's many, many years in the future, the show is designed around financial planning topics and ways to benefit you to reach your retirement goals, right?
That is correct. And Brian's been at this for a long time. What, 35 years or more?
Yeah.
Helping people?
Yeah, 35 was 2 years ago, so...
Oh, so 37 now?
It's getting bad, Jeff.
So Brian's seen some folks go from young and maybe I'll retire one day to now they're retired. He got to watch them all the way through the process.
Yeah, one of them came in the other day. So it's 1993. I went to their kitchen tabletop in a really small apartment they had, and we're talking about how to save like $25 and get them started. And then the other day, we're reviewing what to do with their $6 million. And it was crazy in the fact that it sort of triggered a lot of thoughts into designing a show that I wanted to do today. And I figured I'll take some of their lifestyle. I'm not going to name the people or tell the story, exactly their story, so you can figure it out.
Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
All the innocent are protected here at Winning in Retirement.
That's right.
So this show we're doing today is called Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It. How about that, Jeff?
Okay, that sounds interesting.
We're talking about creating the plan to reach your dreams. Whatever they are, whatever age you are, we have financial dreams. Now, there might be times in life, well, you hit a goal and then all of a sudden you have to reset. Oh, what's next? And those are fun times to do that, to reset it. And then sometimes it's like, well, I need someone to bounce ideas off of to see how I could achieve this goal. And is it realistic? Can I really do this? That's financial planning.
Yep, that sure is. And sometimes the dream is, I want to have children, and I want those children to go to college, and I want to pay for that. So, all right, let's start planning to take care of that kind of thing.
Now, just a comment of wanting to have children can be all different variances, from having money to be able to have children,
right?
To the adoption and fostering, all kinds of options when it comes to children, and it all costs money. But how do you get this money set aside? How do you have money to do the things you want to do rather than just barely make it each and every month?
Right. Yeah, it's no fun just kind of scraping by paycheck to paycheck. You want to have that plan in place. There's a buffer so that you can take care of the things you want.
Now, early in my career, we're talking, I was probably 24 years old. I met with a vice president of a major corporation, and we're talking about his finances, and I'm thinking, oh, look at how much money he makes. He doesn't need a budget. I really thought that early in my career. It's like, oh, you make enough. You should be fine. And meeting after meeting, we couldn't find any money to help him reach what goals he had, to fund anything. And in one meeting, I said to the guy, I said, where's your money going? I can't, there's no money left. And he goes, yeah, Brian, I don't know where it's going. I said, well, we need to go backwards the last 2 years and see where it went.
Yeah.
So we then can create a plan. So when we're talking about basic life and you want to have some dreams and you want to achieve these dreams, you also have to look at, well, what's going on in life? You can't assume because you make money, you're going to have enough to achieve your dreams, because you have to build a plan. So imagine if you have dreams, are you planning it? Do you have someone that's your coach, that's your financial coach, helping you to achieve that goal and understanding what you're asking for, listening, and then helping you get there? This might be starting a company. It might be expanding your company. It might be whatever that dream can be and as big as it can be.
Yeah. When I mentioned having children and then you brought up adoption, I adopted kids. And that's how my wife and I had children. And some of that planning to have them, we didn't plan on having to adopt kids, and it's kind of expensive. But along the way, we had done some things that set money aside for that unknown thing, and we ended up using some of that for the adoption. So
absolutely, and that helped you make it happen,
right?
And because the sad part in many people's lives is, there's not enough money and there's no way to get the money, so we can't do this or that. Or we charge it all, or we go in deep debt, and then we're in financial trouble for a long, long time. So if you're listening to the show and you're thinking, I love the dream, but in reality, I don't have any money to do that. And the idea is this: where is your money going? Let's figure this out. Now, most of us have the dream of financial independence. You might call it retirement. I call it financial independence, and that is the day when you look at your finances and the financial advisor, hopefully from Acres Financial Group, says, you're okay, you can retire anytime. And you're like, you smile, you nod your head and go, I think I might work a little longer.
Right.
And then one day you call us and say, I'm ready, let's go.
That's right. It's that time in your life when you're working because you want to, not because you have to. Yeah, that's financial independence.
Yeah, dream it, plan it, achieve it. And I was hearing about this. What I'm thinking about is this one client where we together about 15 years, and their goal was to retire in Florida and have a house near a beach. And I remember knocking on the door to that Florida house right after they retired down there, my first visit to their home. And their joke was, welcome to your home, Brian. And then the thing they talked about was we together built a plan so that they could achieve it. So I think of the word achieve it. That's one of the many stories I think of, is going into their house that day and you could hear the ocean, which is, that might be good for some people, might be too close for others, but generally it's a great place and they're very happy. I talked with them again about a month ago, and the idea is this: they did plan it, they dreamed it, and we helped plan it and get it all ready. And then it was time to retire. They retired and they were able to buy it, and it's worked out very well, and they've been there at least 4 or 5 years now. So it's great.
Wow. And so that's one where they had the dream, they came to you, talked to you about it. You did the plan, you put the plan together, implemented it with them, and now they achieved the dream. They're living the dream on it every day.
Yeah, the hardest part is this: you don't want to do all the work it takes to think about and all the ideas and how to research and how to figure what to do. Yeah. And what happens is you have an idea, and he's like, I'll call my financial person. Let's call the Acres Financial Group and find out, can I do this? How can I do this?
Right. What's the best way to do this?
And we get lots of these calls.
Yep. All the time.
If you just think about recent calls in the last week, one call was a person they had their second child and they want to build an addition. The addition, through the process of having multiple meetings about this, they basically got a bids on, and let's say they need an addition for, let's call it $150,000 that they need to get money for that. And they're like, well, how do we do this? And then that's another meeting of how to do it and how to keep the payment within their budget and have enough cash, where to pull money from, what to sell, what's taxable, what's not taxable, should they borrow from the 401k or not, and balance out a decision to achieve that goal of building that addition to their house.
Right. And there are a lot of variables in there. One that I talked to this past week was they wanted to buy a boat. And so where's that money going to come from?
You said no?
No, they can have the boat.
Oh, nice, Jeff.
They've been thinking about it for a while, and we had the money ready for it. But it was just a matter of, okay, I want to do this. Can I? Yeah. And I looked at it and was like, yeah, we've got the cash right here. We were ready for this.
And how much is their fuel cost in their monthly budget?
They haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, come on. You can't say yes without knowing the fuel cost on a boat, man.
They haven't bought the boat yet.
Okay. Well, I say 1,000 minimum. All right. So I know you're listening to the show. You're probably driving around. Hopefully it's a great day when you're hearing us like this. But the idea is this: have a dream. And that dream, we need to go from the dream section where, I can't get there, I can't do that, to a plan. Let's figure it out. Let us help you figure out how to achieve that dream, whatever that might be.
Right, because we might know some strategies. How do we minimize the tax consequence of getting money for this? How do we take money from someplace you might not have thought about to deal with it?
Yeah, I had a situation where the couple really wanted to help their kid get a down payment. And they knew the gifting limits were a certain level, 17 last year, 18,000 in 24, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, how do we get the money to them? And then we explained some ways of doing it and ways to withdraw, ways to achieve this. And even filing a gift tax return is not that hard to be able to give them the money they needed for the larger down payment so they could get that house. And that made them very happy that they could help their child do that.
Right. We'd rather not file a gift tax return if we don't have to, but it's really not the end of the world to file one. It's not hard. It's pretty simple.
That story, a gift tax return, is when you give beyond an annual gift limit, you have to sort of take your exemption and pay no tax. You just have to file with the federal government in Maryland and tell them, I gave a gift over the limit and I'm taking part of my exemption, and that's why there is no taxation.
Right.
And so, like, if you give someone $300,000, $400,000 to buy a house, there is a way to do this and not getting hammered with taxes.
Right.
It's not income tax to the receiver. It's not tax to the person that gave it because you file a gift tax return.
Right. It's just something that they're going to keep so that one day when you pass away, they'll look at your exemption.
Yeah. Sometimes the dream it is you're working for someone who's older, and they come to you and say, hey, I'd like to put you into my business continuation plan where you buy me out. And so you have to get ready to buy someone out in the business. And so what happens is you have to build savings, get ready to be able to buy someone out from a company. And so we've been able to do that for some small business owners to be that next person up to buy out practices or whatever they were doing.
Right. That succession plan. How do we do this going forward?
Absolutely. So what we're talking about here is this. Whatever that dream is, whatever your age is, what do you want to try to achieve? Have you planned for it yourself? We think coaching and financial planning is the best way to work this out, to make sure you can reach your dream by planning it and then achieving it by doing the work it takes to get you ready and able to do it.
Right. Work with someone who knows what they're doing so that you can make the best choices in order to achieve your dreams.
Financial planning is not product driven. It's really going to be planning driven that leads to what you need to do. And that's the only way my brain works.
Right.
All right. So Acres Financial Group, we're local. We're independent. We do have offices in Forest Hill and Lutherville, and we meet clients all around the state of Maryland, the Mid-Atlantic region, and all around the country, actually, and even a few around the world. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. All you got to do is just give us a call and schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors. You call 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. Expect the unexpected, they say. But what should you plan for before planning for the unexpected? We'll get right into this when we return in a moment.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to our radio podcast, Winning in Retirement. This is Acres Financial Group's Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, president and founder of Acres Financial Group. Here with me today is Jeff Akers. I'm vice president of Acres Financial Group and certified financial planner practitioner.
Yes.
He is my cousin.
Yes.
He's also a person that's been around a long time. We have 19 years at Acres Financial Group. Ooh. And 23 years working together.
All together, yes.
And I'm proud of the way Jeff has grown up and grown to be an incredible financial advisor over all these years.
You're going to make me cry.
I know. And when I think about this, I think about our grandmother, been extremely proud of you and proud of us being together.
Oh, yeah.
And she'd be our greatest listener if she wasn't already 107 or so.
Right. She would love this.
Yeah, she would. But somebody's liking it right now. And the reason you should like it is we're going to give you solid advice to achieve whatever you want to dream. So this show is called Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It. So imagine that you have dreams. You wake up, it's the first thing on your mind. You write it down. You say, I want to achieve this. I really want to do it. And you're like, how do I get there? Planning is how we get there. And financial advisors who help with planning is the people that you need on your team to help you reach whatever your goal may be. This quarter, we're doing basically the topic is called Expect the Unexpected, they say.
Yeah, and who's they?
I just said it, Jeff. Expect the unexpected, they say. But what should you plan for before planning for the unexpected?
I guess that would be the expected.
Okay, I think I'm following what you're saying. So if you are expecting the unexpected, that's a good thing.
Right.
But most people don't even handle the basics of what's expected when it comes to their planning in life.
Right. Household debt in the U.S. has gone up. And it's not all because of unexpected things. It's because people are charging day-to-day bills to debt.
You know, I heard one of these stories where during the COVID time, people were given extra money, monthly or ongoing extra money. And guess what? They got credit during that time. That credit during that time, people that opened credit cards in 2020 has the highest deficiencies of any other credit card out there because they use that extra income to then get more debt, and then they start spending at that level, which wasn't the level they were actually making before.
They got used to that artificial level, and then it's hard to come back down.
Yeah, so that's some short-term problems when finances for some people. The reason we're bringing up expected is this. If you want to dream and do something special, you got to handle your day-to-day well so that there is money to be able to set aside and throw into your dreams. How are you going to be able to achieve that dream without planning and making sure your day-to-day is covered?
So we need to plan for those expected expenses, that the things we know were coming. We all have them. So let's plan for them and do them as efficiently as possible.
Do you even know where your money went to last month? I mean, money comes in, money flies out, right?
Yep.
So you know your budget. If you do this habit of writing down where your money went to, you might be amazed. You know, my dream is to have a house somewhere, let's say,
right?
But I'm spending $300 a month on my TV, or you're not going to the gym like you promised, or the money's going out the door on things that aren't your dream,
right?
So sometimes in planning, when you just work on a budget, yes, I said the bad word budget, you sort of work through it looking for places to find money so we can then use that to make this dream happen.
Right. You mentioned $300 a month for a TV, $1,000 a month for a car. Mm-hmm. Well, you're not getting closer to the house with either of those.
If your dream's big, sometimes you got to drive an old car.
Right. Right. You gotta save big to dream big.
Well, it takes money. Nowadays, they actually check your credit before they lend you money. Ooh. They appraise houses nowadays before they let you buy them. You should have money down,
right?
Cash, like real money.
It's like 20%.
20 would be great. If you get less, they enjoy that. They charge you more. Right. They charge you extra fees, but it's still doable depending on your goals. But your dream could be anything. It could be a car, a collectible car. It could be education for your kids. It could be one big family vacation. It could be a dream home. It could be a dream island. The dream is not too big. It's whatever you want to try to achieve.
A dream island. That's a pretty big dream there.
I saw the show. I saw the TV show. Sorry. So imagine this. Expect the unexpected. And so we're telling you, expect the expected. So when you're doing your budget, there is, I guess you could call that your weekly nuts, your amount of money coming in. You know what your bills are, I hope.
Right. It's good to have an idea what you're spending.
Now, one thing I've learned is that if you don't open your bills, they still keep coming.
Yeah, not opening them doesn't mean that the balance is zero.
Yeah. And generally, if someone comes in and they need help on their finances and they haven't opened the envelope, we sort of begin there. So imagine this. Some people are great with their finances, some are not.
Right.
Some couples, one's really good at it and the other's not. Mm-hmm. And then there's some couples where they're both not good with finances.
Yeah, that's rough.
It is rough. And so they need to be students. They need to be able to learn when we're trying to teach them how to do the basics.
Right. So what is one of the biggest expenses that you've got to account for then in your known budget?
Yeah. Well, if you think about a month being 4 weeks and you think about, well, I have a week for a house, a week for this, a week for that. The crazy part is between 1 and 2 weeks a month is just in taxes and insurance that we pay out. Imagine between income tax, real estate tax, sales tax, all these other taxes, that's a chunk. Could be a week to 2 weeks of our money goes just for taxes.
And there's no way to just eliminate that and say, I'm not paying taxes anymore.
There's not, unless you plan for it way ahead and have the ability to pull tax-free income.
Right. You can possibly work to minimize it.
Yeah.
But you can't just eliminate it.
No, but you can be wise about the taxes and be conscious of the taxes. So the sad part is this: when some people are working on their budget, they'll see taxes, then they'll see the insurances. Now, expect it. We still need some insurances just to be able to drive and to be able to. You
have
should
a house.
Have a mortgage. You need insurance on that, but you also got to watch having too much insurance, right, Joe?
Right. If you're overinsured, then you're paying a lot of money for something that you're not getting any benefit out of.
So if you examine where your money's going, you can then figure out, is there extra money I can put away? And then my advice is you save that first. Whatever amount you figure out, you save it first. You're always going to spend the rest. If you don't save first, you're never going to save. It's what I've seen in life.
Right. I know Brian, well, when it comes to financial planning, Brian's taught me everything that I know. One of the things he showed me one time was he drew a circle and he kind of carved out, there's taxes, like a slice of the pie. And then he did another slice and said, and here's what you save. Now spend the rest.
Yeah.
And by doing that, our natural reaction to having money in our pocket is we're going to spend it. And so let's just limit the amount we've got in our pocket.
Yeah, I think I'm fun to be around when I have cash in my pocket.
Oh, you are.
But when I don't have any cash,
you're no fun to be around.
Yeah, but the cash doesn't last long if I have cash. I try not to have cash in my pocket. It's like, not that it's monopoly money. I should respect it better, but it's cash in the pocket's not going to be there long. Yeah. And that's a normal thing, I'm afraid, for people.
I'm sorry. I saw a birthday card where the front of the card says, I had some cash in my pocket that was just burning a hole in my pocket. You open it up, and there's a hole in the card, and it says, so I put it in this card.
Yeah.
It burned right through the hole.
Yeah. You almost got the joke right, I think.
I got the joke.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad you're happy about that.
It's a visual joke.
All right. So the show of the day is called Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It. So dreams, the dream, whatever that is. So the idea is we don't know what your dream is. It's usually something where you think about it constantly for a long time. Many people said, oh, you can't do it, but you have this every day, you want to achieve it. Mm-hmm. It's sort of like if you ever see great success stories and you see how they had to face adversity to get through, and then they have certain people in their life that came alongside to get them there. Right. One of the things I did was I had a client, a younger guy, him and I are the same age, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, something like that. I'm not going to say the age because it might hurt people. But generally the idea was he wanted to open a restaurant. And he goes, I don't even know where to start. And so him and I started with basically building some pro forma balance sheets. We got him to talk with accountants on how to do that. We took his ideas and helped him break them all out and get them ready. And then he just kept going with his ideas and he developed it. And then about a year later, he opened the restaurant. It became a wonderful process of helping him achieve his goal of getting that restaurant and to be someone that came alongside to just be like a coach. Right. And that's financial planning, in my opinion, is teaching the client how to achieve it, how to set aside the money, where to find the money, and where to go from there.
So here are the steps to take, and I'll walk with you through those steps to achieve your goal.
Yeah, that was fun. I had a lot of different fun clients over the years, but that was one of those ones where it was a fun first meeting, and he was trying to do this without any family help, Ooh. And then once he got things organized to a certain point, then the family helped a little bit. But the greatest part of it is that he really worked hard and it made the achieving it very easily. And I just had a coach along the side. It's like when you're coaching basketball, like I do, when you have a player that wants to win, wants to get better, and wants to do the work, coaching is a lot of fun. You just point them and tweak things, and then they achieve their goal.
Right.
Imagine you have a dream, you have a coach helping you plan it, you're going to achieve it. That makes it even more exciting to have dreams, even to have more dreams, I think.
And the guy starting the restaurant, you got to figure when you first start out, there's not going to be a lot of income from it. So you've got to be ready for that.
Yeah. Yeah, no money at all for a while. You just go into debt. The restaurants are not cheap. Nothing about it's cheap. It's a battle, and then you got to survive and then go. And he was very successful. All right, so this show, Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It. The plan it is the point. Planning the expected. Know what you know. Let's build through them. Let's cut your expenses where we can when it comes to taxes and insurance. Let's make sure that we have that in hand, found a very sound financial setup so that you can then build and grow to your own future. That is the key to this.
Okay, so we want to have that plan in place to take care of everything that we need.
Absolutely.
That we know we need.
And we've been talking about your dreams and how to achieve them. This is what we do for a living. So you don't have to figure out all of this. We help you. We love doing this. Planning for the unexpected may not be your favorite thing to do. We know that. This is what we do. We want to make this as easy and as comfortable for you as possible. So that as we meet with you and put a plan together, it concludes that it's taken care of, it's planned for. And then when it happens, you're like, oh, we planned for this. We're okay. Perhaps you've been sold something regardless of whether you needed it or not. Not at Acres Financial Group. With us, your retirement money follows your financial fingerprint that builds your dream. It's a retirement plan based on your unique financial fingerprint that determines where your money should go. It's not about us, it's about you. So go ahead and give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE and schedule an in-person or Zoom meeting with one of our team of advisors. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-946-7384, or visit our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Planning for the unexpected can be easy. We'll show you how when we come back.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. We're halfway through the show. It's the beginning of the second half. Got to wake Jeff up. He takes a nap at halftime, but I'm waking him up. Jeff Akers is a vice president of Acres Financial Group, certified financial planner practitioner, and has a master's degree in marriage and family counseling, which I think is wonderful. For some of his meetings, he has had to pull that out.
I thought you were going to say that you use it all the time.
I don't think you use it all the time, but I think it's useful, in a tool in your toolbox.
It is a useful tool. That is correct.
And that's why it's so important to have you here on our Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It Day.
Ooh.
Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It Day. And guess what the third quarter is going to be about? It's going to be about unexpected expenses, things that we got to plan for so that we can then be okay to take the risk to dream, to spend the money on dreaming, to go and do the things that is next on our list, you know?
Okay.
So we did the expected last quarter.
Okay.
We're talking about, we expect the unexpected. We handle the expected. Now we're going to handle the unexpected.
Right.
And then Jeff's going to counsel us on how to handle the unexpected on this quarter of Winning in Retirement. Go, Jeff.
So now you're thinking, well, what's unexpected? Well, you ever had a car wreck? That's kind of unexpected and can be very expensive, but there's a way to take care of that.
There is.
So how do we plan for that unexpected thing, having a car wreck? Brian doesn't know.
Am I supposed to play along or answer? I'm not sure, Jeff. That was a trick question there.
You can play along or answer. I don't.
All right. I think car insurance sounds like the right thing to do there, Jeff.
There you go. We talked about insurance the last time. We said insurance is one of those two big expenses that we have.
Yeah.
Well, it's necessary. We need to have it, and it helps with the unexpected. Same thing with our house. We have to have insurance for our house. Yeah. Insurance, the purpose of insurance is to take care of the unexpected, or at the very least, the untimely.
When something goes wrong.
Exactly.
A worst case scenario, and it's like, what do I do now?
Right. Insurance is not there because everything's going great. Insurance is there when something's going wrong. Yeah. So that's one way that we can take care of unexpected things that come up in our lives.
So you can insure it. That means you take the risk and you give it to someone else.
Exactly.
And that costs money, I heard.
Yes, it does cost money. It can be expensive. So we have to be wise about how much insurance we need so that we're not paying too much for insurance we don't need.
Right.
I mean, sometimes people say, well, I want to get, $2 million of life insurance because I want to make my kids rich when I die.
Sure.
Well, okay, if that's your goal, that's your dream, then, okay, that's a way to accomplish it. But is that really what your dream is, to make your kids rich? And are you spending more on insurance than you can afford to achieve your other dreams, like, I don't know, being financially independent and maybe retiring one day?
Yeah, when I think about insurance, one of the things we do in fundamental planning is we see where money's going. What kind of insurance do you have? And if you've heard this show many times, you might have heard one of my stories of someone buying life insurance based on public transportation, where if they died on public transportation, it would pay life insurance benefit.
Okay.
But that was the only location where they would, if they died doing that, would it pay life insurance. So
did they ever take public transportation?
They lived in a county in Maryland that doesn't have public transportation.
Okay.
They just bought it through the old newspaper. They used to send these things to you. Like they deliver, you pick them at the store. It's called a newspaper. Mm-hmm. And in there was a lot of ads. And one of the ads was this insurance, and they bought it. And they gave it to me one day and goes, hey, we got life insurance, Brian. I go, how much you think you have? Oh, well, that's what, $300,000, right? That only cost me like like $20 a year or $50 a year. And I go,
Right.
That's really cheap life insurance. Let me see what that really is.
Right.
Then I said, well, my comment back was, how often have you been on a public bus? And they go, never. I said, well, if you die on a public bus, this will cover you.
Right.
And they're like, okay. I said, well, do you have any other life insurance? Like, no. I said, well, we need life insurance.
Right. Sometimes that's a big part of our job is just education about what is life insurance.
Yeah,
Life insurance is going to cover no matter how you die.
Yeah, that's an old story. Newer stories would be just a week or so ago. And the person, very sophisticated person, came in with their insurance policies, and they go, yeah, I really worked the system and really tried to get the cheapest rate I could. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh man, that's a big mistake. And he's like, oh, what? I said the word mistake out loud without meaning to. And it's like, well, you're saving money by having lower uninsured liability. The problem is that's what covers you. And so if there's ever a driver out there and you have liability insurance and then you have uninsured liability, are you allowed to have them the same limit? And we highly recommend you have them the same limit because that's what covers you when the uninsured motorist hits you and they have nothing. Or if they're underinsured. If you don't have that, they had like the state minimum on the on that piece, and on the person's liability was higher. And I was like, we got to stop this. It's going to cost more money, but you got to insure yourself and your family, because a worst case scenario is when someone hits your car and they're not insured at all, your policy covers. And if you don't have you covered, it's not covering. So I guess the word is there is no coverage.
Right. And if there's no coverage, then you don't have insurance for that.
Yeah, so unexpected. You think about things. So imagine that tomorrow things were worse. Let's say you're disabled, you had a car accident, all these worst case issues. How does someone handle those kind of events in life, Jeff?
Right. So one step is insurance to cover those. Mm-hmm. But another step is something that is very important on our, as we go down kind of a planning checklist, is having an emergency fund.
Yeah.
Just having some cash set aside to cover things. Yeah. You don't like having an emergency fund?
No, I was laughing because my question was someone's disabled and can't work the next day. And it's like he didn't want to answer that one. Well, it was too hard.
Well, that would be disability insurance.
If you don't have it, it's such a hard answer. It's like they call and say, oh, I can't work now. And if they don't have it, so a lot of times people have to look at their group benefits to make sure they have coverage. Mm-hmm. And if you already have a job, you might have to get you might go through insurability. And then, of course, we got to have an emergency fund that would help finances too. Right.
And with insurance, you do have to be careful that after you become disabled, it's too late to get disability insurance. It's kind of like with life insurance. Mm-hmm. When someone dies, it's too late to get life insurance.
Or if you have a bad medical situation, you can never get it again.
Right.
The hardest part is when you're at your healthiest is the best time to buy things when you're not healthy.
Right.
And you just don't want to do it because you're healthy.
Right. I'm healthy and I'll have more money later to pay for it. But
yeah, and the sad part is when you need it most, you probably can't get it.
Right. It's too late to get it when you actually need it. So
unexpected expenses or unexpected changes in life is something that's part of a basic plan that you got to plan for. And when you've gone through the planning and you said, yes, I've handled these situations, this then frees up money to use for your dreams, for things that might be, some people might say, oh, that's extra. It is something that drives you as you really want to achieve something else. This might be a second house. If we use second house as an idea, some people want to have it now, not wait to retirement. They don't want to just retire and then move to the place. They want to experience some of it with a balanced life now and not wait. And so they have to truly look at everything to see, well, how can we do it? What can I sacrifice to make it work? And then we'd like you to plan your budget, plan your expenses, plan your retirement, plan the education of your kids, and then plan the unexpected. Then you're ready to truly plan for your dreams.
Right. We kind of look at the what we've been talking about, planning for the expected and planning for the unexpected. That's the foundation that then your dreams can stand on.
Yeah.
Let's say your dream was to have this really nice house and you don't think anything at all about any kind of insurance or planning your budget or anything like that. So you buy this really nice house, but then something happens. You become disabled, and now you're going to lose the house because you don't have the income that you used to to buy the house
Yeah.
when you bought it. So we want to have that foundation, because if the foundation isn't there or crumbles, then the dream that's sitting on that is going to crumble as well.
Yeah, it's a hard thing. Life comes at us some days. There's good days and there's bad days. And the hardest part being a financial advisor is you get so close with the clients. You don't like those bad days. It's
Right.
hard. I don't like getting the calls when a client, one spouse is very sick and they need hospice and they're not going to live long. It's nice to be able to tell that person, well, we have this in place to help you.
Right.
Or to tell their daughter, like I did just a couple of weeks ago, that we have these things and to do whatever care you need for your parent.
Right.
Whatever is needed, the money's there. Don't fret over any money side. Just take care of her, that type of thing.
Right. And that's one of those, can be an unexpected expense down the road that we just don't want to think about.
Well, it's one of those things you like to say, like, especially if you're in let's say you're 50 or 60 years old, and it's like, okay, these are far in my future. Mm-hmm. And then what we try to do as people are actually retiring is make sure absolutely everything's in place. Now, if we meet you at 35, we want to make sure everything's in place at that age for the events of that lifetime that you have. We can't cover everything in life because it costs a lot for worst case scenario, but the idea is to cover what might happen and what would affect and change your financial future.
Right. It's kind of what's the most likely unexpected thing, and let's cover that, and then we just kind of go down the list of what we can cover. And as we get older, we can cover more and more.
Yeah, to a point, right? It's like some people have life insurance throughout their life, and then as the kids get out of the house, the mortgage is paid off, the reality is they might not need life insurance for that.
Right.
They might need it for other reasons, like long-term care life or estate planning life, wealth replacement life, but not really for the debt type of thing. And so life changes, and sometimes you might be able to save yourself money, especially on disability insurance at 64. These extra benefits through work that are truly extra, you might not need that.
Right.
It all works together. So today's show has been Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It. And we've been talking about building your expected, unexpected expenses, getting all those things handled so that you can dream, so that you don't have to worry about anything else. That is really planning. Now, the idea is if financial independence is retirement, and retirement is that main goal, we all know that the best part of retirement is going to be, relaxing and getting your time back, where you decide how to use it. Before retirement, your time is tied up by other commitments, like mainly your job. A lot of that goes away in retirement. Your time is now consumed by things that you want to do. I hope people love their job. Every time I think about that, it's like things you want to do.
Right. They love it to a point.
Yeah. And I love my job. It's so easy to begin winning in retirement. All you got to do is this. You go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com, scroll to the schedule a meeting section, and let us know you'd like to schedule your free consultation with one of our team of advisors. That's acresfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384 to start planning for your retirement now. What do you need to do now to make all your dreams come true? We'll talk about that in a moment.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, and here with me today is Jeff Akers. We are both certified financial planners. I'm from Akers Financial Group. Well, what that means is that we're actually financial advisors here to advise you on retirement, but it's really in person. On the radio, we're talking stories and generalities and information. Anything that triggers in your mind, like, oh, man, I got to do that. You just give us a call, and we can do some work, and we can make things happen. And so much so, we wanted to build a show about making things happen, about building a plan that makes it happen. So if you dream it, we'll do the plan to plan it, and then you can achieve it, and we can be on the sideline cheering you.
Yep, we can go along with you. And like Brian said earlier, he likes going visiting folks in Florida. That was their dream.
And not just Florida. I've seen clients in a lot of different states. It's enjoyable. You've been too, Jeff. You've been in South Carolina. You're in Texas recently meeting with clients.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it too, but it's more fun making fun of you.
I understand, and I'm glad to be that for you your entire life. All right, so the fourth quarter, it's winning time, winning in retirement time. Yes, we're telling you the secret sauce right now. It's this. What do you need to do now to make all your dreams come true? Not a Disney commercial. This is a reality of financial dreaming where you set some goals and let's go to work. Let's make them happen.
So let's make a plan now. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I believe what do you need to do now? Like, okay, someone walks in the door.
Okay.
And let's pick a dream. I'm sorry. It's like I was getting ready.
You can't think of one.
No, I was getting ready to do my list of dreams. I don't really want to do that on the radio. I want to do pretend dreams.
Let's do somebody else's dream.
Yeah, let's go with. You got me on this one. But imagine that dreams. A dream is something that you've been thinking about for a long time, and let's go with buying real estate.
Okay.
And let's say it's going to be buying a company real estate.
Real estate.
Yeah, so you buy a real estate property, put your company into rather than paying rent.
Okay.
And it's a big deal.
Okay.
All right. And so what do they do now to be able to try to do that?
Oh, gosh. Man.
I gotcha.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that.
Well, there is a lot. And what happens is this. We got to get a client comes in like that and we say, why are you here? What can we do to help?
Right.
And if they said that's their first thing, we would say, let's start with information.
Right.
Now, the whole show so far has been about the fundamentals, about how you have the dream, and now you got to make sure all your finances are right so that you know you're okay before you take risk. So in this case, there's a risk of buying a commercial property.
Right.
Because you have your business. You might be very, very reliable to pay your own rent.
Right.
But business might not be around forever.
And you might have to leverage that business to buy the property you want to buy.
Or a version of leverage, which depending on how you structure it. But the idea would be the person there, we have to get to know them first.
Right.
And so at Acres Financial Group, we have a website. On acresfinancialgroup.com, we have account access. That's only for special people,
right.
People that become clients and want to get started. They would have an access to that. And that's a way to securely load up information to us.
Right. And know what's there.
And so in a case like a business owner wanting to buy real estate, we need to know about them personally and their business, both of them.
Yeah, and also on that website, there is a little thing in the banner that says forms, I believe. And one of the forms there is called a document checklist. And
absolutely.
It lets you know the information that we'd like to see.
Because imagine you want to have this talk and we want to dream, but then all of a sudden to do the dream, we got to build the plan. That plan starts with the fundamentals of where you are. So the idea is, well, what's your cash position? What's your business looking like? Where are you renting now? When is that going to expire? What's their timetable? What kind of business what kind of business property do you want? What location? Real estate's all about location. And then we got to prepare for the opportunity by having some money set aside, having the ability to talk to companies or banks and other ideas about financing for this.
Right. And the kind of company you have is going to determine the kind of real estate you want.
Absolutely. And location is always going to be a key when it comes to real estate. But imagine that dream is something that we think is a wonderful thing for a business owner to have, to be able to pay their own rent, buy a property, typically not owned by the company. It's owned separately, a separate entity that's probably owned by your family. So that can be a longevity and even part of your retirement plan.
Right.
So we love that dream being a business property.
Yeah, it reminds me of a case where there was a business that had been in place for a long time. It already owned the property. But when the time came for the owners to retire, the business wasn't really worth much at that point anymore, but the property was.
Yep.
And that became the owner's retirement.
Absolutely. Many businesses there's not a value in the sale. I mean, like people think all doctors are make a lot of money, and when they resell their practice, they make a lot. Sad part is they don't. They make a little bit of money, but the idea is if they own the building they're in over the years, that was great for them. Nowadays, it's really hard to do.
Right.
So the idea is this: we're not just pushing buy business properties, but the idea is that's a dream, and the idea is gathering information to know how to start. So let's talk about an idea. Someone wants to, they want to move at retirement, or sooner, and they tell you that story. Let's call it North Carolina or South Carolina.
Okay,
they want to move sooner than later. They rather. Whatever they can do to get some there.
Now, do they want to keep working after they've moved, or?
These are all questions, right?
Well, that's one of the questions. And will your job allow you to live in North Carolina, South Carolina, and still work? I mean, what kind of job do you have?
Yeah, so I had this one client, and it's a couple, right? And so the husband, they had the house in North Carolina, the house in Maryland, and we're working on how to afford it. And so we targeted to make sure one of the debt was gone. As soon as we got rid of the first debt, he retired. So he could be in North Carolina on the water fishing, and his wife's still up here working. And now they juggle back and forth. They bounce back and forth. It's reality. It's a balanced life of having both. And then she's motivated to keep working because she's doing extremely well in her company, and that it's hard for her to stop yet. But the husband, since we got that first little part of the gold, helped them retire, I'm out.
I thought that you were going to say that's when I came in with my marriage and family counseling degree.
No, it's a good family there.
Okay,
but the idea is that they had the dream together. Now the fishing boat and everything else wasn't a together dream. It was one person's dream. But the reality is once they got a certain level, one was very comfortable with pulling the plug and retiring and being there more than the other. Then the other one's still understanding that their job's making a lot of money right now. It's best for the family. They have both houses at one time.
And you know what you mentioned about that is that they had the same dream, and that's really important. I can't tell you how many times I sit down with a couple and I'll ask them about what they want, and one will start talking, the other's like, "Well, I've never heard that before."
Yeah.
And so sometimes it's just a matter of getting the two people to recognize, okay, this is what they want, this is what I want. How can we merge those two together?
Right. I think about dream it, plan it, achieve it. I think about sports players, like NFL or something like that, where their career might be a 4-year career and they get paid a lot of money just for 4 years.
Right.
I think they should have this, what we've gone over today. Put your money aside for the expected for now and for the rest of your life so you never have to work again. Set up the unexpected, build that, then figure out what's left over.
Right.
Then you can dream with that and maybe spend a little bit larger, a little bit bigger. And imagine if everyone did this. They divide that money up, prepared for now and the future, handle the unexpected. And then they knew for sure they could take risk with the other piece. They could spend some of it and not get a return on it, that kind of stuff.
Right. But if you're going to make a huge amount of money for a short period of time and then expect to live on that for the rest of your life, that takes a plan, a serious
And that's retirement for everybody. If you want to be financially independent by 40 years old, it's the same story.
Yeah.
You got to build into the inflation, the ability to retire and make your money last a lifetime. There isn't just one simple little product you buy to do this. This is planning, hands-on, talking, having the advisor help you a lot, and then an ongoing plan throughout all those years. It's not a hello and then let me not see you again. It's let's keep talking and build the plan and keep it going over years.
Yeah, because things change over time.
Life changes. Even some of these goals and dreams change. There might be a time of life from 55 to 75 where you enjoy traveling away. And all of a sudden you realize I'm slowing down a little bit. I want to be real close to family. And I want to go back to Maryland. I want to pay more taxes. That kind of thing.
I heard a joke a couple of weeks ago. They said, when people tell you enjoy them while they're young, they're not talking about your kids. They're talking about your knees and your hips.
I've not heard that joke. Oh my! Oh, this is on radio.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Clean it up.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So the idea is this: dream it, plan it, achieve it. Now, it's not like a motivational talk. This is a financial planning show. You might have been asleep since the first moment we started talking, but then something might have woke up and said, "Oh, yeah, you know what? I have some dreams. How can I do that?" Mm-hmm. That's all we want you to think about. And then the next thing we want you to think about is this: who do we call?
Right, and that's us.
It's not Ghostbusters. It's Acres Financial Group. Mm-hmm. We have a line that's tied to our show. We call it 833-WIN-RETIRED. Win, because you're winning and retire. Right. And I thought win retire would be cute.
Yeah, that works.
Or you just go to our website, acresfinancialgroup.com. Acres is spelled A-K-E-R-S.
Yes. Financial.
How do you spell financial, Jeff?
Financial.
You got it right that time.
Yeah.
Group.com. And you go to that site and you scroll down, and there you can put information about yourself, and we'll contact you to arrange this first time. When you go on there and you contact us, we are going to contact you to schedule this meeting. So we look forward to that. We look forward to that first talk. So don't just send information and then get back to us a couple of years later.
The information's gone.
If you call us, we'll call you. We'll work that out. Or if you can call on Monday and everybody's here, it'd be great. We do welcome your call because we want to help you where you are to get to all these places, all these dreams, all these thoughts, get to those.
Right. And you don't have to be afraid. We're not going to, there's not a charge for coming in and talking to us about your dreams.
You have that first meeting. We don't charge for that. What we do is we figure out how we can help, and then we explain how that works when it comes to charging a fee or having something done where we make money from something else, like managing money or whatever.
Right. We go over all that with you in that first meeting.
Yeah. So thanks, Jeff, for a good show. You made me laugh a couple of times.
It's already over.
I usually try not to laugh out loud like that. And I appreciate that.
Glad I got you.
Yeah, you did get me. So today's show is called Dream It, Plan It, Achieve It. This show is something that you should listen to and get the basics. The basic is this: plan it to achieve it, and that's your dreams. So that's what we covered today. We look forward to meeting with you. We want you to win in your retirement by taking advantage of this opportunity to begin planning with us at Acres Financial Group. To schedule your free meeting with one of our team of advisors, go to our website at acresfinancialgroup.com. Scroll to the schedule meeting section and let us know you'd like to schedule your free meeting. That's acresfinancialgroup.com, or you can call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE, 833-WINRETIRE. We'll give you a call on Monday to schedule your free in-person or Zoom meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Go to acresfinancialgroup.com or call us at 833-946-7384. Thank you for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Akers Financial Group offers securities through Archedios Capital, an SIPC and FINRA member firm. Advisory services are provided through Archedios Wealth. Akers Financial Group and Archedios do not share any common ownership. Neither Archedios nor Akers Financial Group provides tax or legal advice. Advice given on winning in retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, and or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment. Examples and scenarios shared are meant to be for illustrative purposes only. Past performance is not indicative of future results.